Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington. Thanks for joining us. The U.S. is sending thousands of troops to the Middle East after a targeted killing of a powerful Iranian general. The strike marking a new escalation in Washington's conflict with Tehran. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington. Thanks for joining us. We begin at 5 with breaking news. Greenville leaders say one of the city's bus drivers has tested positive for COVID-19. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Watlington. Now, on your side is learning new details on this developing story. WNCT's Katie Augustine joins us live in Greenville. Katie, what can you tell us about the timeline of this case? Police are surrounding a home on Queens Road. Take a look now live at the scene between Marine Boulevard and Louise Avenue. Officers tell us a man is holed up inside a house refusing to come out. Investigators say that man is wanted in connection with a double shooting. They believe he is armed. Police tell us they're negotiating, hoping to get him out without using deadly force. They are asking people to avoid that area.
They've got their signs supporting President Trump in his re-election bid. They're chanting 4 more years, and they're ready to see the president take the stage tonight and lay out his agenda and why he thinks Eastern North Carolina is important to that re-election bid.
Leaders and workers at the North Carolina Department of Transportation are seeing the impact of the pandemic. The coronavirus is causing a huge budget shortfall for the department, forcing it to delay projects and lay off workers. WNCT's Amber Joseph is live in Greenville tonight. And Amber, what exactly is causing this budget shortfall? The Duke University women's basketball team will end its season immediately amid the coronavirus pandemic. A person spoke on condition of anonymity in the situation today because the school has not publicly announced the decision. The team has been on pause since December 16th because of 2 positive COVID-19 tests and contact tracing within the program's travel party. The Blue Devils are now the first school from a major conference to start this season but not finish it because of the virus. A Greensboro man is making beating the coronavirus his mission. He's one of our state's backbones behind COVID research. And I'm Ken Watlington. Hurricane Dorian made landfall not far from Ocracoke Island, trapping hundreds of people in their homes. The area experienced significant storm surge this morning. Many choosing to ride out the storm were forced into attics. Ocracoke Island was one of several barrier islands under a mandatory evacuation order as Dorian moved up the coast. Right now, state officials are rescuing people by air. Evacuees are being transported to a shelter in Washington County. At last check, the entire island was without electricity. We know Dorian brought quite a bit of tornadic activity to our state yesterday, and one family along the Crystal Coast knows the exact moment a tornado ripped apart their home. Check out this video captured from a doorbell camera at Emerald Isle. Jason Sawyer and his wife say the camera went offline when they went on to Ring to see what happened. This is what showed up. Sawyer literally watched his home get swept off its foundation by what was possibly a tornado. Just incredible footage there, and we're just glad to say no one was home at the time. A trip to the beach takes a life-altering turn. Nearly 3 weeks after 17-year-old Paige Winter lost her leg in a shark attack, we're learning more about what happened that day. At a news conference at Vidant Medical Center today, Paige's father giving a first-hand account of when he pulled her from the water. And we begin tonight with breaking news into the 9 on Your Side newsroom. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington. Thanks for joining us on the Eastern North Carolina CW. Angie Casada is off tonight. A carbon dioxide leak shuts down a portion of NC Highway 11 in Lenoir County. The Hugo Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department posting this picture around 9 o'clock tonight. They say that NC 11 north of Kinston will be shut down in both directions as they deal with the hazmat situation. That area is between Wallace Family Road and Farrell Road. Stay with WNCT both on air and online for the latest updates on this story. New tonight, the town of Ayden is still working to decide what's next for vacant commercial buildings in town. Members of the town board discussed the issue tonight. 9 on Your Side's Aaron Dean is back from tonight's meeting with more. Aaron. After hours on the run, a pair of escaped inmates are back in custody in Duplin County. WNCT's Elizabeth 2 is live in front of the jail annex where they escaped. And Elizabeth, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I'll tell you what, here we are, the first Friday of a new year in January, and we've got temperatures in the 60s right now.
It's wild. This northern boy is not used to that kind of warmth this time of year.
It's not normal around here either. We'll get a little more back to normal next week.
That's right. Yeah, more seasonable.
And sunny.
That's right.
Alex, thanks.
Of course.
It was blustery today.
Oh my goodness, before I even stepped outside today, you could tell what was going on. Just the way it was starting to rattle the house a little bit in the back porch. A
A little worried I was have to anchor some stuff down.
Yeah, exactly. I was chasing lawn furniture all over the place, but it'll be better tomorrow.
Calming down a little bit.
Yeah.
Good. All right, Jerry, thanks. Well, if you think you're in the clear after suffering through the flu once recently, think again.
And it's the biggest playoff hockey game in North Carolina in a decade. I'm Ken Watlington, live outside of PNC Arena as these Hurricanes fans get set for tonight's big game.
We've begun a lot of reports of storm surge across eastern North Carolina. That's when a body of water, the water is pushed in one direction because of the strong winds. Now, in New Bern, the storm surge is causing some pretty severe flooding, but that water's got to come from somewhere, and it appears to be the Pamlico Sound. I want to show you something tweeted by Sam Walker of the Outer Banks Voice a couple of hours ago. These photos courtesy of Don Bowers, and this is Hatteras Island on the Sound side, and you can see the water pretty much gone. This is on the eastern side of the Pamlico Sound. That water being pushed by the wind westward to Hyde County, towards Pamlico County, and towards Craven County. Because this water is being pushed so far upstream, basically, that's why that storm surge in the New Bern area and places on the western side of the Pamlico Sound are dealing with so much flooding.
That affected a lot of things in Craven County, including the football schedule. Tonight will be the first game the Rams have played since back on September 7th when they played up in Greenville against J.H. Rose. You talk about getting back to normalcy. The recovery does continue, and that includes here at the high school. A lot of work being done as we speak. I want to take you over here, and this is the field house here at Sasser Field. It is under construction. A crew on the roof right now trying to repair some damage sustained during Hurricane Florence. But tonight, a sense of normalcy, at least for a few hours, when the #1 ranked Rams take the field against their rivals from down in Morehead City as the West Carteret Patriots make the short trip up here. Of course, Carteret County dealt with a lot of damage from Hurricane Florence as well. So those two communities coming together tonight to try to feel a little bit normal as Touchdown Friday continues. It's week 8 of the high school football season, but as Jerry Jackson mentioned, it does not feel like it. 90 degrees out here right now, but we're looking forward to a great night of football. Yeah, Angela, it was the Greenville Tar Heel All-Star team that made it all the way to the U.S. Championship game here at the Little League World Series back in 1998. Today, it will be North State taking the field for their first game coming up at 8 o'clock. It's sunny now, but earlier in the day, it did not seem like there'd be baseball. I left the hotel to drive over here about 10 o'clock this morning. Absolutely raining cats and dogs. And as you take a look at this video, gray here at the stadium once I got here, but it started to clear up. The grounds crew then removed the tarp and started to prepare the field for today's 4 games. The first 2 games of the day were pushed back to 4 o'clock starts, both of them going on simultaneously here at Lamade Stadium and across the way at Volunteer Stadium. But it'll be here at Lamade coming up later tonight that Greenville North State will take on Sioux Falls, South Dakota in their first game here at the Little League World Series. We'll have much more coming up tonight at 6, but for now, live in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, I'm Ken Watlington, 9 on your side. Actually, things have already gotten underway here inside Minges Coliseum. A few guest speakers so far, including Laura Trump on stage right now. She is a North Carolina native, back in her home state, supporting Donald Trump in his re-election bid. We've had a couple of other guest speakers so far, folks really familiar with Eastern North Carolina, including State Representative John Bell, who represents portions of the East, and he got this crowd fired up. And just a few minutes ago, we saw Dr. Greg Murphy, the state representative from right here in Greenville. He is the Republican candidate to replace Walter B. Jones Jr. in our 3rd congressional district. So some big names in Eastern North Carolina politics are here right now, including Laura Trump on stage now. Of course, the vice president will be on stage in just a little bit, but of course, the headliner will be President Donald Trump. He's expected to touch down on Air Force One at Pitt Greenville Airport coming up around 6 o'clock. He'll make his way over here, and he's expected to take the stage at 7. But this crowd is fired up. You hear a lot of chants of 4 more years from the supporters of our nation's 45th president, and a lot of the speakers up there touting the president's accomplishments, saying promises made, promises kept. And welcome everyone to Rocky Mount. You know, it's one of the larger cities in Eastern North Carolina, about 55,000 residents, and there's a lot that makes this city unique. One of them being it's split in half right down the middle, with the eastern side of Rocky Mount in Edgecombe County and the west side in Nash County. And that's where we are today on the Nash County side, just about a few hundred yards away from the Tar River. And it's this spot where the second cotton mill in our state opened way back in 1818. You can see the building still here today, but it's being used in a much different way. We'll talk more about that coming up after your full First Alert forecast in about 15 minutes. Each and every Thursday, you'll find this group of volunteers hard at work.
Everybody just works as good as a team.
Hard work mixed in with a lot of laughs.
Oh yes, we have a good time.
These are Greenville's Oakmont Baptist Church ramp builders.
And we've got a great group of people now. We get about anywhere from about 9 to 13 people a week coming out. We've been able to speed things up a little bit. We're able to usually about a half a day is all it takes to get a ramp.
Every Thursday for years, they've been building ramps just like this one for people in need, oftentimes without even knowing who they're building the ramps for.
I have no idea who it is. Never met the person, but we do it. Whew. Out of the love of Christ.
A higher calling to help those less fortunate. It's a common bond that brings these men together every week.
We had a 20-year-old recently, a little 20-year-old girl that had cancer, and I mean, it was just, I mean, the woman was just so thankful. It was just, it's wonderful, really.
The church receives grant money every year, plus donations from the community to help make the ramp building program happen. And the need across the community is there.
There are so many people in need. We get referrals from the hospital, from Council on Aging, from social services, from churches, and then also from people whose friends are telling them to come to us.
The volunteers know the work is rewarding, but for these men, all retired, it's not just the fact they're helping someone in need.
The group of people we're dealing with, the fund we have, everybody has a good time, and we still get something done that's worthwhile.
Lots of times we'll hear the homeowners say, gosh, y'all have a lot of fun doing this, because as y'all noticed, we laugh and joke, and we get the work done, but we have a good time.
Lots of laughs, but at the end of the day, well, the end of every Thursday, the Oakmont ramp builders get the job done.
It makes you feel really good. I mean, we're talking about, one of the guys talking about, Ed was talking about the other day, we said, you know, he said, I was going to go play golf. He said, but I'd rather be doing this than playing golf right now.
I think about it a lot, that the shoe could be on the other foot. We could be the ones that need the ramp, but we're not. We're living vessels used by God, and it's just a blessing to be able to do it.